Welcome to another edition of Chops and Pops. It is June 19th, 2016, and of all the sights and sounds to be seen and heard, you are here with us on our YouTube channel. Thank you so much for listening. I am Andy.
And I'm Shane. No Andrew this week. It's Father's Day. He's busy.
And it's Money in the Bank. Money. Money in the Bank.
Nice one. The show's already a quarter of the way in. Right now the Divas match is going on, but we're going to recap and go over from the beginning of the show, starting with the pre-show. The first match was Golden Truth
versus Fandango and Tyler Breeze with their bad sunburn.
Yeah.
Which was funny.
While it was on, I made the point that they were kind of making lemonade out of lemons because if they had just a normal tag team wrestling match, it would probably be forgettable, but with this ridiculous sunburn storyline thing they did, makes it a little bit more memorable considering it's a pre-show match that nobody's really going to care about.
Right. It was very funny.
I mean, yeah, it was completely for the purpose of comedy. But then next was the other tag team match they
Dudleyz
did.
versus the Lucha Dragons.
And that was okay. Dudleyz have gotten kind of stale to this point, and they haven't even been around a full year yet.
They've been botching a lot of stuff lately, and especially Devon. Devon's been very sloppy.
Both of them have, and for being the type of veterans they are, I wasn't really expecting that from them. But the one thing I did like so far about the show, speaking of the pre-show matches, is that they had they put all the focus on the tag team division. And so for the pre-show, you had two sets of tag team matches that were, lower on the, I guess, the rankings in the division. And it kind of worked its way up to the kickoff of the show, the start of the show with the Fatal 4-Way match. That I kind of liked. Beyond that, it's been kind of a rough show to start off. But before we get into all that, what did you think of the Fatal 4-Way tag team match, the opener?
The match itself was okay. It wasn't great.
I didn't like the New Day thing with them coming out to cut that promo.
Yeah.
That Xavier did.
The roasting, yeah.
That was a bit much. And I feel like of all teams to kind of harp on the most, Enzo and Cass are the baby faces, and it's not going to get support. I don't know. It was a little corny.
It was. Biggie got a good laugh, though, for calling the vaudevillains the Monopoly Men.
Yeah.
Las Vegas loved it. For some reason.
And I think myself and everyone thought Gallows and Anderson were going to win.
I was hoping they were going to win. I feel like, as much as I like the New Day, I feel like it's time for a changing of the guard.
Yeah, no matter who it was.
Yeah.
That New Day have just had it for way too long now, and this was kind of a way out, with the Fatal 4-Way where they don't have to get pinned or, there's so many different scenarios, but they kept it. It was all right. It wasn't the best tag team match. It wasn't bad. But you needed something after that to kind of give you that punch to kind of get the show going, and you didn't get that.
No.
Because next was Dolph Ziggler and Baron Corbin.
My favorite wrestler, Baron Corbin.
And I can still smell it because they stunk up the joint. They stunk it up.
Though Baron Corbin saved Dolph Ziggler's life.
He did. Dolph tripped while trying to run over the stairs, and when he was doing his run over the stairs, he tripped on his own feet, and Baron saved his life by catching him and doing a little twirl. But the match, it suffered.
It did, and they never could quite recover. I mean, they built up a little steam, but just didn't do it, which is a shame, because Baron was thrown. I don't know. I felt like Dolph was selling well, and Baron was looking strong. It just didn't click.
They lost the crowd. I mean, they had the storyline there. It's been going on for a couple months now. I was invested, but the people just didn't seem to care. And I really think that's all we have to say for those matches, because Money in the Bank has a really strong card and 3 very, very significant matches, and so I'm keeping my hope. But after everything we've talked about, that's 4 matches deep. And the 5th match, if we're counting the pre-show matches, the 5th match is the Divas match right now, and I don't think that's going to be anything too spectacular.
It doesn't look bad from the corner of my eye right now. It seems fast-paced, and the crowd actually seems behind it. Like, there's lots of clapping, and, the crowd is moving, which is interesting. It's not like on Total Divas where, they phone it in from other segments, and they're like, oh, wow, the fellas did really great. The crowd really popped for us tonight.
amazing video editing job.
Yeah.
Part of the E channel. But and then I think after this, as much as I'm looking forward to it, I think one of the other weak moments is Apollo Crews and Sheamus.
Yeah.
So after this and that, we should be getting to some.
Yeah, I mean, you got Rusev versus Titus for the United States Championship, which I think that has potential.
It does. And
there she goes, Becky Lynch.
Yeah, let's.
My favorite.
We'll take a pause. We'll digest this Divas match and see if it's anything worthwhile.
So we will be back here on Chops and Pops at the conclusion of this match. So,
money.
Stay tuned. I wish I had that one. And we're back here on Chops and Pops. And the Divas match ended with a twist.
There was something worth digesting. It was Natty's heel turn. And
Crazy.
How do you feel about it?
She didn't take it very well. She was crying as she was walking out, which I don't know if she was just really upset that she lost the match or if she was just upset that she had to hit Becky, who's her friend. It's hard to tell.
Either way, we didn't see it coming.
No.
That came from out of nowhere. Otherwise, that match was forgettable. And I feel it's continuing the trend of tonight that nothing worth value has really happened yet.
But
then there was Sheamus and Apollo Crews. That went a little bit better. It's the type of match where, being a wrestling dork, I got something out of it because I was already kind of awkwardly or in a unique way looking forward to it. So I took something out of it. I just think that the universal audience, I don't know if it really did anything for them.
Right.
To where I feel like it still was another dud.
There was that cool moonsault from the apron onto Sheamus, and that was dope.
No, to tell you the truth, I liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it. I liked it. That I took something out of it, but like I said, it's more the general audience.
It's probably the best Apollo's looked since he's moved up to the main roster.
I agree. But now we're finally getting to something worth value. I feel like this whole show has just kind of been like... There's been nothing really up until this point. And I feel like our podcast is kind of reflecting that we kind of... we've been taping probably for no more than 5-10 minutes.
It's 7 minutes right now.
Yeah, and we're halfway through the show.
Yeah.
So people listening to this are just flying through this card and realizing, we're talking about nothing. Because of every match we've seen so far, nothing has really happened.
Yeah.
Unless you consider Natty's heel turn something.
I mean, when was the last time she was heel?
It's been a while.
Was that back with the Beth Phoenix days?
Plus, it's hard, though, to make her heel while she's the baby face she is naturally that gets shown on Total Divas.
Yeah.
Where people like her so much, but that's not worth talking about. What? Somebody just threw pink polka dot streamers at AJ.
Awesome.
The gay community.
And he just did the...
Too sweet.
He just did
Too
it.
Sweet.
How you doing?
For how lame this has been so far, this is something pretty special right now, Cena Styles. And I feel like we should enjoy it and then mark out on it.
John Cena, I think, best described it. Wow, hustle, loyalty, and respect in the image of Pabst Blue Ribbon.
I thought that got banned. I thought they recalled all that merch.
I don't know. He's wearing it.
All right.
I think John Cena said it best when he was talking about this matchup, that this could headline WrestleMania.
It could.
And it could.
They really took advantage of the fact that they had 3 really strong matches on this card and just gave us a pile of dung.
Yeah.
Besides that. But we're getting to the good stuff now.
So is it going to be...
Yeah, I guess we should do predictions.
Yeah, is it going to be Cena or is it going to be Styles?
Cena.
I think we're
this
both.
This is the easiest one to call. The thing to really predict is, are they going to have good chemistry? These guys have never been in a ring together. They've barely met each other.
Right.
And 2 very different styles. 2 guys who perform really well in high-pressure main event situations. I think it's going to deliver.
Yeah.
But we may get an awkward moment or 2 while they're trying to feel each other out, you know?
I mean, they don't call him Big Match John for nothing.
Yeah.
He's Big Match John. There he is.
But
And he's got his jorts on, man.
He did switch back to jorts since coming back.
He's
so
back.
To wrap things up, LOL Cena wins.
LOL Cena wins, yeah. You can't see me, and I'm sorry, AJ, but you can't see him. You're not doing it. Not tonight. I'm sorry. And Andrew, I'm sorry. Because I know I know
Andrew would be pretty upset right now if he was on the mic.
Andrew's definitely rooting for AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Of course.
Sorry, Andrew. He's racking up another loss on a pay-per-view again.
I'm sure Stone Cold will address that tomorrow night on the podcast.
Sure he will.
So we're going to go watch this because
this is going to be good.
So
I have high hopes.
We should be much more excited when we come back.
Yeah.
So stay tuned here.
Match of the Year candidate.
Chops and Pops.
Let's see if I eat my words.
All right, we'll be back. And we're back here on Chops and Pops.
I would say that I don't have to eat my words. It had a screwy finish, but overall, the match that they had, you could argue that was a Match of the Year candidate. They had an unbelievable match, a phenomenal match. I'm sure Andrew's very happy with it. Well, yeah, especially with AJ winning.
We heard a lot of John Cena tonight talking. He talked quite a bit during this match.
He was loud. No botches, really, in that match from what I saw.
A lot of really good transitions. Like into the when AJ went over and he tripped him up and he put him into the STF and then the calf crusher, calf killer. I know you like that better.
Yeah, calf
I mean, there were a lot of great transitions in this match, and I feel like it was. If this is a first in a series, I'm very excited for the next couple of matches.
Yeah, that's why I don't get upset with screwy finishes. It just means that there's going to be a program now, and we're going to get more matches with them. And it could even top what we got tonight at Money in the Bank.
And speaking of Money in the Bank,
it's up next. And we've talked off air, but we didn't really go over this match or anything, so we should probably say on the mic. Who do you want to win, and who do you think is going to win the Money in the Bank?
Personally, I want Kevin Owens to win, because I feel like a future program with him and Roman Reigns would be great. I feel like Owens would be able to get decent promos out of him.
Owens is a good heel, and
he's great.
I would say he's probably the top heel right now, and if Roman's going to be champ, yeah, Owens makes a lot of sense.
But on the other hand, Ambrose winning would just be so delicious for a triple threat match at SummerSlam. Just because even if he loses the match, if say Roman pins Seth Rollins and he just happens to be out of the ring, he could just cash in right then and there, and then beat Reigns with the dirty deeds and be done with it.
There's a lot of talk of Ambrose cashing in, and they've been talking a lot about the Shield, even though it's Reigns and Rollins. Talking a lot about the Shield. I would say I want Dean to win. I'd still be very happy with a lot of it. I'd be happy with Owens winning, Jericho winning, all of them. But I want to see Dean win. But I truly believe Cesaro is going to be the one to win this. I just think there's too many signs pointing towards him winning it. Just that he's not focused in the storyline with anyone else in the match like everyone else is. Jericho being involved with Dean and Owens being involved with Zayn. I just feel with the suit thing, it'd be fitting for him to be carrying around a briefcase. I feel like he's been losing on TV, which is a way to hide him before a big win like that, which is what they tend to do a lot. Yeah, my pick is Cesaro. But yeah, is there anything else you want to say about Styles and Cena?
It was just a good match. Like I really don't have any complaints. I feel like the pacing was well. I feel like both men were selling well, and I really like that John Cena didn't like. I feel like he didn't get the upper hand until later on in the match, and I like that because normally you see John and he's like, he's a superstar. He's Superman. He wins from from tape to tape.
Well, one thing you pointed out before we started taping was that he was really selling AJ's punches, his forearms. He was really making him look like they hurt.
They looked phenomenal.
They did. Yeah. Besides the screwy finish, or even with the screwy finish, do you consider it one of the match of the years?
I think the way things are going in the WWE, yeah. I think there hasn't been too strong of matches this year. There have been a couple, but not like NXT strong.
Right.
Or Lucha strong.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
But if this is setting a new precedent for the precedent, not president, because that's in November.
Yep. Got a couple months, but we do get that this year.
Yeah. As long as this...
It's scary, but we get that this year.
Donald Trump's a big WD supporter, so
Let's not even talk
we could,
about
you know.
Let's not even.
But yeah, this is going to be good, this ladder match.
Speaking of Donald Trump, though, money in the bank is up right now, and
this match is huge.
Yeah, it's huge.
Huge.
It's huge. We should watch the huge match.
So we'll be back here on Chops and Pops after the Money in the Bank match. Stay tuned. And we're back here on Chops and Pops.
And the Money in the Bank match didn't disappoint,
No, it was
just
good.
like Styles and Cena. But there was no shenanigans at the end of this, like Styles and Cena. Dean Ambrose. They finally gave something to him.
It's 8/21/16. What's that star?
Our listeners don't know that we're watching the SummerSlam trailer. The Money in the Bank match. I really thought Cesaro had it. I wanted Dean to win it. Dean won it. It completely changes how the rest of the night could go.
Definitely.
Everyone listening to this already knows what ends up happening. We don't in this moment right now.
Right.
How do you feel about Dean winning?
I think, like I said before, as much as I hoped that Kevin Owens was going to win, I feel like the good money was on Dean tonight. They've been kind of hinting at it.
Too much focus on the Shield.
Yeah.
It was a little too obvious.
And then the segment on Monday where, like, you had Rollins and Reigns, like, yelling at each other, and he's just sitting there, like, kind of, like, smirking. And he's like, well, you know, I could win. It was just kind of like, you know, I could win. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I don't know. Maybe it's just from how they've booked him before in the past. Like, they've booked him in important roles before, but I guess there's just been too much doubt with him that, you know, I just never felt like they were going to give him that type of opportunity, even if they gave him main event matches, you know. But they did. And now, there's two questions. Is one, how do you feel about the match itself and how it went? And two, do you think he's cashing in tonight? And if so, how so?
The match went well. I thought the match was pretty good. Lots of interesting spots.
I felt like the because storytelling can always be different with ladder matches, that it's either used as a weapon or, you know, as a tool to get to the, you know, whatever you have to get to. This one, it seemed like the theme was just tease, 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 tease.
Right. Like
they just teased all six guys, you know, equally to where anybody could win at any time.
I feel like there were so many mini storylines happening inside the ring as well, especially with Zayn and Owens. And was it
Ambrose and Jericho?
Yeah, Ambrose and Jericho. Like, there were many storylines that were helping to build things up, which was nice because it added, like, more drama and tension to everything.
Right.
And I liked that. And I feel like he's gonna cash in at the end. I feel like Rollins is gonna beat Reigns and he's gonna cash in. I don't think he's just going to jump in and make it a triple threat, because I feel like they're going to save that for SummerSlam.
It can go a couple different ways. You know, he could save it. He could tease it. He could just scare Rollins if he wins, you know, or, you know, just make it aware to Reigns that it's there. He could do, you know, I don't know what you would call it, the prideful thing to do, and, you know, just join in at the beginning of the match. It could mean that Rollins is going to beat Reigns now, and right when Rollins is celebrating, Ambrose is going to spoil his, you know, celebration. But I do think something's going to happen with it tonight. Ambrose definitely, we didn't see the last of him tonight. He's going to come back out later. He's going to do something. But maybe
he's just going to stand there and just...
Yeah, that's what I mean. He could just tease it, because it could just be like, I'm going to haunt the crap out of you now for the next year.
Just hide in the shadows, just peeking in the box.
He's going to be lurking.
He's gonna be lurking.
Ambrose is going to lurk all year long. But yeah, that's what I would say about the match. The guys put their bodies on the line. They went through hell to do it. But the theme seemed to be just tease for everybody. But now we're finally getting that United States title match, which I'm sure is going to be cut for time because it is already past 10:30. But I'd like to see Titus win. I don't see this match being that long.
No.
And then we'll come back, and then it'll be main event time.
Yeah. So stay tuned. We'll be right back on Chops and Pop. And we're back here on Chops and Pops.
Not a bad match for
Not a bad match for the time
and the spot it was in. Squeezed in between two main events.
That clothesline, though.
There were a couple.
The first one.
There were a lot. Well, yeah, there was that on the outside.
That one was crazy.
Titus fought hard. It was worth cheering for him. Rusev retained, which is lame.
And Rusev was pretty mean to Titus's kids.
I'd say it was, yeah. I mean, that was a little extreme. Got a good chop in on his chest. I would say that was better than a lot of the filler matches for the first half of the card. That first whole hour and a half was kind of a waste.
Yeah.
And I think that Rusev-Titus match was probably better than most of those.
Yeah.
But we've reached the end. We're finally
This is
here.
it.
Last match, Rollins and Reigns, and the potential now of Ambrose coming out. So let's see what happens.
I'd say it's very high.
Yeah.
And there's so much history with these three. I think anything can happen. I feel... I don't know.
Even if we get it before then, I see it definitely happening for SummerSlam, with it being in Brooklyn, and that's where Shield made their debut, and it's coming up pretty soon. But regardless, even if Ambrose isn't going to cash in for real, I can't see him not even, at the very least, teasing it. So
right.
He's coming out. But let's not overlook how good Rollins and Reigns could actually be, and Rollins returning to the ring, and the expectations there are.
I think what's likely going to happen, just to keep Roman Reigns champion, is that Rollins is going to be about to do it. Ambrose's music is going to hit. He's going to walk out with the briefcase. Rollins is going to be pissed. He's going to turn and hit it and eat a spear. Reigns is going to pin him.
And then Ambrose cashes in anyway, even though it's Reigns.
He's just going to look at him and go. There's going to be one of those awkward stares off, and then it's like, oh my God,
that could
Ambrose!
I see it.
He's a lunatic, Maggle.
So, do you think this match is going to be better than Styles Cena and the Money in the Bank?
So that's a tough call, because Reigns can deliver, and Rollins definitely can go. But Rollins has been out for a while, and Reigns' quality of matches, aside from the AJ Styles match, kind of less stellar than last year.
I mean, I believe in Reigns, but I highly believe in Rollins, because even with the time away from the ring, Rollins is he's too good.
Right.
And he has too sharp of a mind for the wrestling business that I think his mind's always going, and that even goes for psychology in the ring. And I think he's going to try a lot of new things, for better or for worse. And I would love to see him have a new finisher, so he's not doing the pedigree all the time and landing on his knee, which he doesn't need to be doing.
Right.
So I'd love to see that, but I'd also just like to see some new moves in general, which I'm sure he'll do. And it's just going to be exciting to see him in the ring again.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this match.
Me too. Let's do it.
So we'll be right back after this match. Chops and Pops. Stay tuned. And we're back here on Chops and Pops.
So we might have seen it coming. but when it actually happens and it plays out in real life, it's a little intense. Dean Ambrose finally won the WWE World Heavyweight title. Legit. He's champion. He is our world champion right now, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah. Finally.
That's real life. That's reality.
This is the world we live in.
Let's take it one step at a time. How did you feel about Rollins and Reigns?
It was good. For the most part, I'd say it was pretty good. There was a couple moments with Seth where he hesitated with the knee, and
You thought so?
I think that's good. I mean,
it's good for him to protect it.
Yeah,
It's not good that he.
But on the opposite foot, a lot of his offense seemed to involve that knee. A lot of knee shots, a lot of knees, and that awesome spear to pedigree.
That was
dope.
the best part of the match, by far. Mid-air reversal into a pedigree. Doesn't get much better than that. Yeah, that was the best moment of the match. But overall, very good match.
Very good match.
Rollins looked strong coming back.
And he won clean in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, everyone had their moment. There was a lot of teasing, just like the Money in the Bank match. But Rollins won clean, so everyone had their moment. Reigns walked in as champ. Rollins won the title. Then Ambrose just walked in and took it away from him. Is there anything else you want to add about Rollins and Reigns?
No.
I'd like to see it again.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we're going to because we're probably going to get the triple threat and a long story over the next couple months with all three.
Right.
But yeah, I'm happy to see Rollins back, and I want to see more Rollins. And now, how do you feel about Dean Ambrose? Legit world champ.
I like it, but at the same time, we're in the summer, and new championships in the summer tend to not last as long, and that makes me nervous.
That's true.
I'm
just happy to see it at all.
I am, because I feel like when he was in that program with Seth Rollins and he kept fighting for the title and like he would win. Oh no, it wasn't. This happened.
Right.
Got him. And now he like is legitimately champion.
None of that really counted.
Yeah.
This is a world title win.
I just hope he makes it 1 week. I just want 1 week as champion.
One thing I was afraid of with the environment they're in, or the location, I should say. The phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That he could lose it as soon as tomorrow night. Hope that's not the case, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. But even if it is for one night, with this being the legit version of him winning a world title, I'm happy with it.
They can't take that away from him.
No, and it makes better for a pretty half-assed night, I should say. If I could sum up the night in one statement, it would be skip the entire first half.
Yeah.
It was a 3.5-hour pay-per-view. I would skip the first hour and a half to 2 hours.
Just start watching after the women's tag match.
Yeah. Around there. Chops and pops of the night. Chops first.
Chops.
Just to get mine out of the way, I think it's what we just mentioned. I think more than half, probably 60% of the first 60% of the show, you could skip a race. It was all filler. It was a waste of time. It was just giving pay-per-view time to guys just to give it to them. They didn't really capitalize on it. Cruz Sheamus was okay. Like I said, Titus, Rusev later on was better, but overall my chop would be the filler. Too much. And yeah, a little lopsided.
I'm going to say my chop would be Baron Corbin, because he hasn't been my chop in a while, and their match actually was probably the lowest of the low, as bad as kind of like mundane as the tag matches were. They each had like a little bit of enjoyment in them, and then it's just that match had potential, and it just did not deliver. I mean, that was a match I was at least looking forward to, even though as crazy as it is, as much as I hate Baron Corbin, I like watching his matches. It never really picked up steam, which is a shame.
But you're not blaming both guys. You're just blaming Baron.
Yep, just Baron.
I mean, Dolph did botch in that match.
He did. He did slip on the stairs.
Why are you only blaming Baron?
That vest.
Because
honestly, when he comes
vests
out,
were the theme of the night.
It
because
was.
You had Seth with his new vest, looking all snazzy.
The difference is when Baron wears a vest, he has bad matches. When Baron stopped wearing his vest to the ring, he started having better matches. It's really all about the clothing for me for some reason. Somehow, your attire really factors into the performance, and I think that really affected him by wearing that ugly vest. I think if he just came out in his, sleeveless shirt, he would have been fine. Yep.
So, pop of the night for Money in the Bank 2016.
My pop is going to go to the success that was AJ Styles and John Cena.
Okay.
Because I knew Rollins Reigns was going to be something great, but that match surprised me, AJ Styles and Cena, because that could have been disastrous.
And probably adding to that point, Rollins and Reigns are a lot more familiar with each other,
right,
even if it is more as partners than opponents.
Mm-hmm.
Styles and Cena, very unfamiliar with each other. Work two very different styles for two very different companies.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that adds to what you were saying, that I think it could have gone very badly. But both guys, AJ and Cena, they don't crack under pressure.
Right.
Both guys are really they do well in high pressure situations like main events.
They are main event players.
They are.
Your pop?
My pop of the night, easily, no competition, goes to Dean Ambrose winning the WWE World Heavyweight title. That is a dream come true. That is the pop of all pop. Potential could be pop of the year.
Wow.
In terms of match of the year candidates, maybe for a couple of these.
Right.
For Rollins Reigns,
Mm.
especially if you want to include Ambrose's cash in. Styles Cena.
Right.
And the Money in the Bank was fairly good, and like we said, the best matches of the year have been kind of so-so. So
right. So
you know,
these are three good contenders.
What was good of this pay-per-view was good. What was bad was pretty bad, and it took up a large portion of the show.
And it was a long show.
It was, and that is how it would sum up Money in the Bank. They've never run this long past 11.
No.
And I guess it's a new trend.
It's too much to me.
Well, the point is we just said the first hour and a half you could have skipped. That already cuts you down, you know? So they definitely didn't have to go over 11 if you cut out the crap.
Yeah.
Only other point I want to make before we wrap things up is that New Japan also had a pay-per-view the same day. And compared to half this show sucking, I definitely recommend that you check out the New Japan pay-per-view. A lot of it was good, and definitely some good matches worth seeing. Ladder match between Omega and Michael Elgin. Will Ospreay getting his title match against Kushida. So check that out. We'll do another episode next week.
Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, the money you're looking at, the picture, is the actual Shane McMahon money.
Hey.
That fell from the ceiling at WrestleMania this year. Figured it was fitting. And also, you're not mistaken. You're not missing an episode. We didn't fall behind again. We did not tape last week. So this is this next episode after the Muhammad Ali episode. And, yeah, we're done.
And we're back on the saddle again.
Mm-hmm.
So, as always, thank you for listening here at Chops and Pops. Like, comment, subscribe. Shoot us an email.
Subscribe.
We have a Twitter, at Chops and Pops. Tweet at us. We're almost to 100. Get us there. I am Andy.
I'm Shane.